The following is a presentation of WCMP Sports, local sports.
Past the 25, to the 20, to the 15, he's gonna high step into the end zone, touchdown!
Here, wide receivers split each side.
He's still going into the end zone.
East Central Minnesota, the action starts now. To bring you the call, here's Ethan Game Day Gilman.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Pine City, Minnesota, where we have our first baseball broadcast of the year between two conference foes. I'll talk more about that in a minute, but we've got the Crosby-Ironton Rangers here as the Pine City Dragons host them this afternoon for our first baseball game of the year. Of course, I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman, and I'll be bringing you all the action from this afternoon's game here in Pine City, where the Dragons host the conference foe, Crosby-Ironton Rangers. Yeah, I know, that seems weird to say that the Rangers are a conference foe, but they are. A little bit more on that is Crosby-Ironton, Mora, and Aiken all joined the Great River Conference here this past fall. So in 2024, in the fall of 2024, that came into effect, was the new conference. Now, it didn't affect football too much. It did volleyball a little bit, but you could really tell that it took its toll for basketball, and now we'll see it in baseball and the softball season. And it's going to be a ton of fun to see these three teams be a part of this conference. Continuing to grow this conference is what they're trying to do, and it should be a ton of fun this year with these three new teams in it. Of course, Mora has almost been kind of adopted into this conference, if you will. They play the area teams already in this conference so much already, so it was just kind of an easy transition for Mora. So there will be no love lost there when any of these teams play Mora. But Crosby-Ironton and Aiken making the switch over to the Great River Conference from theirs. I believe theirs unfortunately dismantled and dissipated because of just some low numbers, so they decided to join the Great River Conference. Of course, Aiken and Crosby-Ironton play a ton of our local area teams. Once again, they play them a bunch anyway, so it just kind of felt right to bring them in. And I think if you ask the area coaches around this area, not just Pine City, but East Central, you go down to Rush, Hinckley, I think you'd talk to those guys and they'd say, yeah, it's a good move to bring these guys in. I know I talked to coaches during the winter sports season, and they were saying, yeah, I love this move. Love that we were able to bring these three teams in, and how competitive it was. It just took the competitiveness up another level this year in the winter sports season, and even in volleyball a little bit. You saw it come out and get these teams to another level of competition. It was so much fun to be a part of it in the fall and then in the winter. Now we get into spring sports. It's been a weird start to spring sports, as it always is. We were looking like we could start early. Well, then we got some snow and then a little bit of rain, and now we're getting our first game in. It's not the greatest of conditions, but hey, we'll take it, as this is the first game for both of these teams here, the Rangers and the Dragons, both of their first games here this afternoon in Pine City as we sit at about 43 degrees. I think we hit a high of close to 45. It is close to 45 now, but we were a little bit closer now that the cloud cover has come over us a little bit more. It's definitely playing a factor in how warm it is. Definitely with that sun out, makes it feel a little bit warmer, but now that the clouds are covering us a little bit, it definitely feels a little bit chillier than it once did when we first arrived here, when it was a bit sunnier. So getting set for this one. This might be the last one we get for, unfortunately, some time. We're supposed to get a rain-snow mix tomorrow. Thursday's supposed to get rain, and then Sunday some more rain. And unfortunately, these fields are already wet from the winter we had, so it's going to take some more time to thaw out, unfortunately, and hopefully not too long, but it is going to take a little bit more time, I think, than people would hope. So we'll have to wait and see how that all plays out. But if I were a guessing man, if I were a betting man, I'd say probably no more baseball or softball, outdoor sports this week. Of course, sadly, I will be gone for the next week or so I won't be able to call games anyways. But if I come back and the field conditions are better and we got games that are going to happen, you can bet we'll have more baseball and softball games coming your way. So stay tuned because this will be our first one, and then after I come back from vacation, we will definitely have more on the airwaves. But before we get too far into the broadcast, I want to take a moment to hear a word from our fine sponsors. We want to thank all of them who sponsor us throughout the winter sports season, and appreciate them for doing that, and especially throughout the playoffs. Playoffs get just so chaotic, so we appreciate all of our fine sponsors. We're going to hear a word from them right now, and then we'll come back and talk more pregame here in Pine City for this baseball game.
Embrace Orthodontics offers a unique specialized approach to orthodontic treatment with custom braces or Invisalign. The team at Embrace loves getting to know their patients personally and takes the time to make sure all your questions are answered. Their board-certified orthodontists use only the latest in modern technology to give you the best outcome possible. They work with your insurance company and offer flexible financing options to fit your budget. Call today to set up your free exam and see how Embrace Orthodontics can transform your smile. More online at embracemn.com. That's embracemn.com.
A Lennox air source heat pump is a high-efficiency air conditioning unit that can also heat your home or business during the spring and fall. It's more economical than heating with propane. Have Dale's Heating and Appliance install your Lennox air source heat pump. Ask Dale's how you can receive up to $1,000 in rebates for your air source heat pump system. And ductless mini splits also qualify for up to $1,000. Visit dalesheatingandappliance.com. Conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Whoa, better get into the Freeway Holiday Station.
Physical therapy. It's one of those services you don't think about until you need it. Pain happens. Count on the team at Physical Therapy Consultants to help. Physical Therapy Consultants, with locations in North Branch, Isanti, Zimmerman, St. Francis, Andover, and Ham Lake, accept all insurance plans, workers' comp, and auto. Their expertise can help you and your body repair. Find out how Physical Therapy Consultants can help you heal. Call 1-888-THERAPY today. 1-888-THERAPY for Physical Therapy Consultants.
Need reliable energy? Burnett Dairy Cooperative has you covered with top quality propane services. Whether you're heating your home, running your business, or firing up the grill, our propane is safe, efficient, and always dependable. Choose Burnett Dairy Cooperative Propane, your trusted partner for all things energy. Stay warm, stay powered, stay local.
Back out here in Pine City, Minnesota for today's baseball game, our first baseball broadcast of the season. I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. Thanks so much for joining me. Taking a look at both of these teams' season last year as we move on in our broadcast before we get to first pitch. For the Rangers of Crosby-Ironton, they went 5-14 on the season, 1-7 in their old conference. Now, again, that was their old conference. That was the Mid-State Conference this year. Again, part of the Great River Conference. But they were 5-14 last year, 3-6 in their section play, 1-7 in conference. Now, the section, they're both in the same section, so they play both out of 7 AA. And last year for Crosby-Ironton, the wins were few and far between. They won their first game of a doubleheader over Park Rapids 3-2, then they would lose that one. Their next win would come against Rush City in a 4-3 win. It was at that time, I think Rush City was undefeated at that time that win came. So that was a big win for Crosby, and I even looked at that game and said, okay, maybe Crosby's taking the turn, but unfortunately that did not happen. They were able to beat Pine City last year 8-0, and then their final 2 wins came against Mille Lacs and Moose Lake Willow River. They got into the playoffs, unfortunately, and faced a dominant team in Proctor, and that's who they would fall against in the first round of the playoffs to Proctor, 7-0. So that is how their season looked, 5-14, 5-13 during the regular season, 14 including that playoff loss. So a tough season for them. Obviously not the season they would have liked to have had, but again, they're hoping to bring this one around for this year. They did have not too many home games last year. Looking at it, it looks to be, 1, 2, 3, 4 maybe? So, and speaking of teams who didn't have a lot of home games last year, Pine City. Pine City didn't have a lot of home games last year either. They were few and far between there. But looking at this team last year, again, not the season they would have liked to have had. 2-15 in the overall, and then 1-8 in section play, 2-10 in Great River Conference play. They would not find their first win until they beat Hinckley Finlayson 15-7. That came after losing 3 straight in tough fashion, 10-0, 16-6, 23-0. But then again, they beat Hinckley Finlayson 15-7. And then they would not win again for 3 more games before beating East Central in the first game of a doubleheader, 2-0. They would win this. They would lose the second game of that doubleheader, 14-11. Those would be their only 2 wins. Unfortunately, they would go into a playoff game against Malacca, where they would fall 8-3 in the first round of the playoffs again. So both these teams playing out of the same section in 7AA. Both these teams looking for a much not needed, I'm not going to say needed win, but an important win to start off the season again, because looking at the weather and how the field is, we're probably not going to play another game this week for sure. Next week, still up in the air. So I would put a lot of money on saying that for sure this week there will be no more games for much of our local listening area. But for Pine City, they may not play for the next 2 weeks after this game. So this is an important one for both teams, just to get off on the right foot and start the season off with a win, something neither team was able to do last year. And if we look at it, Pine City has been pretty dominant up to last year. Again, last year was tough. They graduated a lot, so but up to last year, man, they have just been nothing but dominant. I mean, you look at the 23 season, they were 16-6. They went and beat Malacca International Falls, fell to Esco and Mora. Then Esco would go on to win the state championship, of course. And then looking back at the 2022 season, again, another dominant year, 13-5. Again, they did lose in the first round to a really tough Greenway team, 6-5. That was I was there for that game, and man, that was a tough one. That was a season where Mora had another good run there in the elimination bracket. But then in the 21 season, they were 15-7. That was a really fun year for them. Again, they would go and win their first game over Mora. They would lose to Virginia, come back and win their next 2, and then in the elimination bracket finals to go to the section championship game, they played Evelyn Gilbert. Holy cow, that was a fun game to be a part of. They were up late, surrendered the lead. They got the lead back. I mean, it was so back and forth. So this Pine City team has a history of being really good and being right there at the top. So they're hoping that this year proves to be the same and they can get back to that dominance once again. As we go ahead and take a look at Crosby-Ironton, we looked at them last year. Looking back at 2023, they were 5-16. So it's been a couple of years since they have had a winning record, going back to even the 2022 season in 2022. They were 1-20, and we'll go back and look at 21 as we did with Pine City. So they had 1 win all the way back, and in 21 they were not a winning team again. So it's been a while for Crosby-Ironton since they have had a winning record, and both these teams hoping to get off to that 1-0 start here this afternoon. Again, this is Great River Conference play, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, both these teams now in the same conference this year in the Great River. So it's not only an opening day for the Pine City Dragons, it's also a Great River Conference game between these two teams. So we're getting set for first pitch here at Pine City, where the Dragons are taking the field first, of course, as the home team. On the mound today for the Dragons, starting off will be number 3, Asa Schwarzbauer. He's going to take the mound for the Pine City Dragons. Back there catching for him is going to be number 7, Ezra Barth. He'll be back there catching. Then over at first is going to be number 26, Nick Stewart. We're in 21, actually, excuse me. So he'll be number 21, it looks like. So he'll be a little bit of a different number here just for today, or maybe that's permanently changed. We'll have to wait and see. But then over at second is number 8, Ethan Agard. Then at short is number 13, Jacob Staber. And over at third is number 17, Jackson Karras. Then in the outfield, it looks like this. In left, it's number 12, Caleb Hogberg. In center field, it's number 1, Bo Heggie. And in right, it's number 11, Michael Petronak. Well, that is how the Dragons will line up defensively as they are out there. Again, on the mound is Asa Schwarzbauer as he gets ready for first pitch here in Pine City. Dragons are, of course, ready and getting set up for this one. Corey Schmidt, the head coach, Nate Fort, one of the assistant coaches here for the Dragons. For the Crosby-Ironton Rangers, their head coach, Paul Jenkins. We get ready. I do believe the Pine City softball team won here today. As I pulled up to the field, they were winning in the top of the 4th, 15-4. So they were up by quite a bit. So and I believe it's a 10-run rule after 5. I believe. You got to understand, ladies and gentlemen, I'm still knocking off the rust. This is my first game of the year for baseball, too, or softball, and I'm still knocking off the rust. So I do believe it's 10 after 5. So if they kept it at a 10-plus run advantage for themselves, they won that game in under 7 innings, which they possibly did. They were up again 15-4 at the top of the 4th inning. So here we go. We'll get the final warm-up pitch out there, and the Rangers are set to go as well. Leading off for them is going to be number 7, Jack Kovacevic. So Kovacevic stepping up into the right-handed batter's box, the long sleeves. A lot of these players are going to be wearing long sleeves today, as it is a little bit chilly. Training's got some new jerseys this year. We'll talk about those in a second. Here's the first pitch from. So again, it's Kovacevic in the right-handed batter's box. Here's the pitch, swung on and hit towards the third baseman. It gets by his glove to the shortstop. Throw on to first is not. Oh, it was in time, but unfortunately the throw pulled him off the bag. So the third baseman there, Karras, could not grab it. His shortstop, Jacob Staber, came over to help him out. The throw to first was there. It was accurate, just a little short, though, and it pulled Nick Stewart off the bag to allow him a base hit. And now it brings on a lefty, Ethan Millsop, wearing number 22. This one's in there for strike 1 from Schwarzbauer. So the Rangers have a man on first, nobody out. And Millsop at the plate. No gloves here. Schwarzbauer with the pitch. That one swung on and hit out towards shallow right. It's going to get down for a base hit. The right fielder is under it. Oh, he missed it! And now the runner from first heading to third. And it's going to be a double for Ethan Millsop. So now coming to the plate for the Rangers, number 12, Keon Wessner. And early on in this first inning, the Rangers are threatening. Nobody out. Runner on second and third in scoring position. Here's Wessner. Schwarzbauer with the pitch. First one is in there for strike 1. Good-looking pitch there from Schwarzbauer. Come back and get a nice one there to Wessner. Again, runners on in scoring position. Nobody out. Schwarzbauer readies. Here's the pitch. Just outside. Oh, in there. Schwarzbauer gets the call he likes. And here's the pitch. In there for strike 2. It's going to be a 1-2 count for Wessner. Schwarzbauer getting a little bit of command now. I like his glove, by the way. That glove stands out, and I love it. It's green with some white accents, the white wristband. Here's the pitch, though. It is swung on and missed for strike 3 and out number 1. 1 out now for the Rangers. And they still got 2 on, though. Now to the plate, number 8, Jairus Millsop. First pitch to him. Swung on and fouled off the left-handed batter's box for strike 1. So 0-1 count now to Jairus Millsop. Schwarzbauer again struck out Wessner there. Runners on second and third. And here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, and Schwarzbauer is getting himself going here. After getting 2 hits to start the inning, he has been on for these last few pitches. Now trying to get another one, and that would really help to get out of this inning. Fires that one in there, and it's just by the second baseman. It's going to score 1, and they're going to send the man from second. It is going to score 2. It's an RBI, 2 RBI single for Millsop. So a 2-run single there for Jairus Millsop is going to give the Rangers a 2-0 lead. The runner will be back on first, and now to the plate is number 11. That'll be, I believe, Creed Gressman. Yes, Creed Gressman is wearing number 11. He'll step off and check that runner at first. Keep him there. First pitch is in there. Apologize, did not see if it was ball strike. I was trying to write down Gressman's name. Either way, it's 2-0 Rangers with 1 out. He'll check the runner at first. Throw over, not in time, but he makes him dirty. Jairus Millsop having to get dirty on that one. Hey, sometimes that's what you want. Here's the next one. This one is swung on and hit out towards left. It's going to get down for a base hit, and they'll hold it to just a single for Creed Gressman. And now coming to the plate for the Rangers is going to be number 15, Jason Schaefer. Schaefer now to the plate, 1 down, runners at first and second. Schorsbauer with the pitch. That one swung on and popped up, and it will go out of play. So first pitch swinging there is Jason Schaefer, and that one's going to go back and out of play. Runners at first and second, 1 down. 2-0 lead for the Rangers. Schorsbauer ready and glancing at second, and here's the pitch. Just outside for ball 1. 1-1 now for Schaefer. Here in the top of the first. Schaefer with the 1-1. Took a little something off that one, and he got Schaefer out in front of that one. He foul tips it straight back into the backstop, and that'll make the count 1-2 now for Jason Schaefer. And again, Schorsbauer trying to get that second out, go long ways in helping them get out of this inning. Schorsbauer shakes off the first one, likes this one. And here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled again off the first base line, really right out of the left-handed batter's box. And we'll do it again with a 1-2 count for Jason Schaefer. Runners at first and second, 1 down. Schorsbauer with the pitch. Swung on, but it's going to get by the catcher. Unfortunately, that's going to let him get to first. It will not score a run. So technically a strikeout, but because it gets by the catcher, he is going to get to first. Runners advance to second and third, and the bases are loaded with 1 down. Good-looking pitch there from Schorsbauer. Just got away from the catcher, though. Got him swinging. Now up to the plate for the Rangers is number 4. Apologize, don't have that. Try and figure out who number 4 is for you. But Schorsbauer, now with bases loaded, needs an out. That's in there for strike 1. Good off-speed pitch coming from Asa Schorsbauer. Good looking pitch there. Wyatt Stanton is number 4. That one's just outside for ball 1. So Wyatt Stanton, with a 1-1 count now. And here's the pitch to him. Just high. So it'll be a 2-1 count. You know, a good thing for Schorsbauer here. He's been getting ahead in the count for a majority of these at-bats, but unfortunately, 2 runs have scored and the bases are now currently loaded with 1 down. Induce a ground ball here, get a double play. That one swung on and missed. Big swing and miss there for Wyatt Stanton. And that's going to bring us to a 2-2 count. Bases loaded, 1 down. Schorsbauer trying to get out of the inning. It's 2-0. Here's the pitch. That one's in there for strike 3. Looking. So that will be out number 3, I guess. Did not quite see where out 2 came, but I'm not quite sure. I apologize. So it will be 2-0 after the end of the top of the first, and so the Dragons trail now 2-0 as we move to the bottom of the inning. And the Dragons will now have their turn. On the mound today for the Rangers, I believe, is number 11, Creed Gressman. Yes, it is. So Creed will be on the mound. Over at first is Jairus Millsop. Behind the plate, I believe, is number 4, Wyatt Stanton, I believe. I'm not currently 100%. Keon Wessner is going to be playing short. 17 will be Andrew Taylor over at third. And at second, I can't quite see. That might be number 4 as well. So Stanton might either be second or catcher. We'll get you those numbers and names. It looks like Stanton's at second. He is. So Stanton at second. This could be Kavatovich as the catcher. Ethan Millsop out at center field. And now as we get ready for the bottom of the first, final warm-up pitch is in there. So here we go. Readying for his first pitch, of course, is Creed Gressman, but standing in there leading off for the Dragons is number 8, Ethan Agard. Here's the first pitch. He's going to swing. This one's down the third base line. Is he going to beat it out? No. A grounder to first, or to third, rather, and that'll be out number 1. So 1 pitch, 1 out. Well, that's ideal if you're Crosby-Ironton. 1 pitch, 1 out. Now to the plate is number 1, Bo Heggie. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss from Heggie. That'll be strike 1. So if you're the Dragons right here, got to get this pitcher to throw a few more pitches. You want him to stay out there a little bit longer. Oh, that one is going to be chopped right in front of the catcher. To throw to first is going to be low, but it is scooped in time for out number 2. That grounded, I shouldn't have been swinging on that one. That was high in the zone, and fortunately it winds up falling right in front of the plate, and the catcher makes a nice play. So 2 down now for the Dragons, and at the plate now is going to be number 13, Jacob Staber. First pitch swinging, that one gets by him high for strike 1. Oh, 1 to Staber. That one is swung on and missed, and that's about chest level. He's swinging it right at the Dragon text across his chest, and now it's going to be 0-2. And again, if you're the Dragons, you want to make this pitcher throw a few more. Otherwise, he's just going to live right there. Might have to. That one's going to be high for ball 1, so his first pitch that is going to wind up a ball. 2 down already, and Dragons need to battle here in this first. Make him throw a few more. So 0-2, 2 down, nobody on. And swing and a miss there for Staber. And that'll be out number 3. 3 up, 3 down. Go the Dragons. And we will move now to the top of inning number 2. Well, the first inning of play has come and gone, and we are Going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back after a word from our fine sponsors for the start of inning number 2 here on Anthem Country WCMP.
And here's the pitch.
Here's the Pitch, the premier indoor batting cages in North Branch. Whether you're trying to make the team or take the team to the next level, Here's the Pitch has state-of-the-art pitching machines for both baseball and fast-pitch softball. $35 gets you cage time with your own pitcher. $40 gets you cage time using one of their top-tier pitching machines. Screens, plates, helmets, they've got the equipment, you provide the batter. Find Here's the Pitch on Facebook or visit here'sthepitchmn.com. here'sthepitchmn.com.
We're proud to support local athletes during the playoffs. Whether you're an athlete or a fan, Wellia Health is here to help keep you performing at your best. For all your sports medicine needs, visit us at Wellia Health online to learn more.
Free college is possible at Pine Technical and Community College. Students of all ages may be eligible for a tuition and fee-free pathway to education thanks to the new North Star Promise Scholarship. If you're a resident of Minnesota and have a family-adjusted gross income of $80,000 or less, apply online today for free and join us in high-demand programs such as nursing, gunsmithing, machining, automated systems, cybersecurity, early childhood education, liberal arts, and more. Whether you're starting out or starting over, learn more at pine.edu.
Now leading off in the top of the second for the Rangers is number 17, Andrew Taylor. He's playing over at third. First pitch to him is low for ball 1. This one is swung on and popped up towards left center. It's deep into left, and it is caught. It's caught out there in left by Caleb Hogberg, and that'll be out number 1. That was deeper than I think a lot of people here thought it was going to be, and it took a ride, but nice job out there by Hogberg making the catch. Now at plate, Deacon French, wearing number 10. First pitch to him. Ooh, just outside for ball 1. So French watches ball 1. This one will come in and swing and a miss. He was well behind that one. Schwarzbauer firing the heat in there on that one for strike 1. So it'll be 1-1 now to Deacon French here at the top of the second inning. 1 down already for the Rangers. This one is swung on in the dirt. It's going to go foul. And that'll make it a 1-2 count now for Deacon French. Schwarzbauer, as that one goes foul off the third base line, readying on the mound. Here's that one's in there, and it's going to be strike 3 looking. That's the second player this afternoon that has gone down looking on strikes, and Deacon French is the latest victim. Now back up to the plate is Jack Kovatovich. 2 down, nobody on, and Kovatovich reached on a single last time. First pitch in there is to him for strike 1. Again, Schwarzbauer got into a little bit of a rhythm there in that first inning, but unfortunately, Crosby-Ironton was able to get a few more bats on the balls and able to score 2, but they got out of that bases loaded situation and were able to get out of there with the strikeout looking by Wyatt Stanton. This one's swung on and missed for strike 2. 0-2 here for Kovatovich and the Dragons. Trying to make it a 1-2-3 inning. 1-2 now, excuse me. Again, it's first game for me too, ladies and gentlemen, of the spring. I'm still knocking off the rust. See? In there, strike 3, and he'll get his third man down looking. 1-2-3 inning for the Dragons. They make quick work of the 8-9-1 hitters, and now it'll be their turn at the plate. Well, there we go. That's one way to overcome a 2-0 first inning. It went too quick for them, and now they're saying, hey, now it's our turn to get these bats going. So a nice inning there for the Dragons. As the Rangers get back out onto the field. Deacon French out in right, And in left is Schaefer. Now, the Dragons will get ready. And as I mentioned, they did get some new jerseys here this year. Some good-looking jerseys, I might add. These new green jerseys with the black pinstripes, the black letters and numbers outlined in the white. They still have their same hats, though. Same hats, the black hat with the green front face of it and the Dragon logo right on the front, the baseball in the background. Same logo right on the back of their jerseys where that nameplate would be. Gray pants. For the Rangers, it's those maroon jerseys with the white letters and numbers, white trim on the neck and the bottom of the sleeve, and then the maroon hat with the white CI on the front of it. Bottom of the second inning here in Pine City. 2-0 is the lead for the Crosby-Ironton Rangers, but Dragons gaining a little bit of momentum after Asa Schwartzbauer was able to strike out 2 of the 3 batters he faced, got 2 of them down looking. That is now 3 that he's got looking. So he's got, what is it now? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strikeouts on the afternoon. 3 of them have gone down looking. Leading off for the Pine City Dragons here in inning number 2 is going to be number 21, Nick Stewart. Stewart will lead off here in this bottom of the second inning. Again, a quick 1, 2, 3, top of the second. So the Dragons now get their chance at the plate. Can Nick Stewart get a spark for them? As again, they had a little bit too quick of a bottom of the first, rather. He'll look at the first pitch in there for strike 1. And Nick Stewart, I remember last year, Nick Stewart, he was a very patient batter. Did a really good job of just battling up there, even extending some at-bats. We'll see if he can do the same here. This one going to be high for ball 1. Again, he's got a really good eye for pitches, and he really is patient up there. And sometimes that's what you want, especially after last inning when this young man only threw, 4 pitches, Creed Gressman? That's outside, ball 2. 2-1 now for Nick Stewart. So again, yeah, if you're the Dragons, you want this young man Gressman to throw a lot more pitches. This one's low, and that'll be ball 3. So Stewart up there now draws a 3-1 count as the leadoff man, and this is exactly what you want from the Dragons. Be a little bit more patient at the plate, let Gressman throw a little bit more, get his arm a little bit more tired, and then capitalize when he throws one over the heart of the plate. That one, maybe not the best pitch, but it was there enough for Stewart to take a hack at it, and he just foul tips it back, and it'll be a full count for Nick Stewart as the leadoff man here in the bottom of the second. Here's the pitch from Gressman, That's going to just clip the top of the zone, and Stewart can't believe it. It just, and I mean just, got the top of the zone for strike 3. That was, I think, a good one to look at, but it just got the top of the zone there. Now to the plate is going to be number 12, Caleb Hogberg, the left fielder. At least he made Gressman throw a few. This one is hit out to left field. It's going to be right into the left fielder's glove for out number 2. Good looking hit there by Hogberg, but unfortunately it hangs a little too much, and that'll be out number 2. So 2 down. Again, a 1 pitch out there for Gressman, and that's less than ideal. But now here comes Ezra Barth to the plate. Those fancy green gloves. I love that look. Love that green. Gressman with the throw, and the pitch is high for ball 1. Now, I may be a little bit biased because I'm a Pine City graduate, but my favorite color is also green, so do with that what you will. Here's the 1-0 from Gressman. A swing and a miss over top of that one from Ezra Barth. Yeah, he was over top of that one, was expecting a little bit something a little higher in the zone. That one ducked underneath the swing. Now a 1-1 count here for Barth. The pitch from Gressman. This one is swung and popped up right towards the shortstop, and he is under it and grabs it for out number 3. Well, not ideal, but they made him throw a few more, and if you're Pine City, that's all you can ask for is you make him throw a few more. But now we will head to the top of the 3rd inning, a fast first 2 innings here in Pine City. The Dragons trail 2-0, but Asa Schwartzbauer has since gotten into a little bit of a rhythm. He's gotten in the zone now. He has struck out 5, and 3 of them have been looking. So, can Shoresbauer continue his hot streak? Can he stay in the zone when we come back after word from our fine sponsors for the start of inning number 3?
Arrowhead Transit, your community, your ride. Arrowhead Transit is proud to support this station and bring you reliable public transportation in your community. Whether you need to get to work, school, or the doctor's office, our friendly drivers and comfortable buses are here to serve you. We're committed to connecting communities and making transportation accessible for everyone. Arrowhead Transit is your community partner in getting around. Arrowhead Transit is a supporting sponsor of the station and is dedicated to supporting our local communities.
Your journey to smile with your forever starts at Embrace Orthodontics. The team at Embrace is committed to providing world-class care and a remarkable orthodontic experience. Choose between custom Light Force braces or Invisalign clear aligners with locations in Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge, and a plan to fit your budget, whether you have insurance or not. Embrace Orthodontics will make your smile journey comfortable, convenient, and customized just for you. Visit EmbraceMN.com today to find out how to set up your free exam. EmbraceMN.com. Embrace Orthodontics, a smile you will embrace forever.
Well, not too much to smile about yet for the Dragons, but you feel like they're right there. You feel like they're on the verge of getting something going. Again, Shoresbauer has gotten into his zone pitching-wise since the first inning. He really was there in the middle of it, but unfortunately, Crosby-Ironton was able to get a few more hits than they would have liked. But Shoresbauer's since gotten into a little bit of a zone here, striking out the side. Almost. He got 2 of 3, but good enough because that first young man was a fly out to left. So. But you got to give credit to the defense, too. You can't just it's not all the pitcher sometimes, but he did have some pretty good play out there by his defense. So, Shoresbauer back on the mound, and he'll start with the lefty. The leadoff man will be Ethan Millsop, the center fielder. He doubled in his first at-bat. Again, the no gloves. No gloves. I like it. This one's inside. And it's ball 1 to Millsop. Fires that one in there, but it's going to be low and inside for ball 2. 2-0 count to Ethan Millsop. Again, it's hard to be up there and be patient as a batter, especially when it's a little bit chillier like this, because you're like, man, I just want to get on base so I can run and get warm or get back to the dugout. But Millsop will battle there, and that's a line drive right to the shortstop. Great grab there by Jacob Staber for out number 1. Beautiful grab by Staber for out 1. Now Keon Wessner to the plate. He struck out swinging in his first at-bat. Shoresbauer looking to do the same here. First pitch is low for ball 1. Wessner readies. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Shoresbauer. Took a little something off that one. That one's going to go foul back and out of play, it looked like. So Wessner fouls that one back and out of play. 1-1 count now for Wessner. And Shoresbauer with the pitch. Just outside for ball 2. 2-1 count now for Wessner. It was 2-0 before Millsop swung and lined out to Staber in that first at-bat. Now 2-1 here for Wessner. That one's in there for strike 2. Good-looking pitch from Shoresbauer. He likes that one. I'm not sure what it is, curveball, change, not real sure of what it is, but that pitch has been money for him this afternoon. Whatever one it is, change-up, curveball, I'm not sure, but it's been money. I think that one got him. Yep, it did. He tried to jump inside out of the way, but it clipped the back of his hamstring. Now, that might be the most painful spot to get hit just because your hammies are so sensitive. Either way, I digress. So, runner on first, and now Jairus Millsop to the plate. Pitch from Shoresbauer. Fires that one in there just outside for ball 1 again. Jairus Millsop hit that 2-run single in the first inning. Shoresbauer will quickly check the runner at first, but he's in there safely, standing. Schwarzbauer with the pitch. That one's high. So it'll be a 2-0 count now for Jairus Millsop. Again, this is where Millsop, the other Millsop, Ethan Millsop, lined out. He was 2-0 before lining out to Staber. Runner from first going to second. This throw down to second is going to be high, as was the pitch. Excuse me, was it a strike? There's too much going on sometimes. You might think baseball, slow, patient game, kind of boring. Yeah, but when there's stuff going on, man, there's a lot to pay attention to. So the runner, it was a strike. So the runner from first will steal second, but it's a 2-1 count now for Jairus Millsop. Swing and a miss on that one high in the zone for strike 2. And again, Schwarzbauer has been doing a good job in pressure situations and he's been pitching pretty darn good. But now with a runner in scoring position with one down, he'll step off and force the runner to head back to second. Just keeping an eye on Keon Wessner there. Here's the pitch. 2-2. I think he got a piece of it. Tip foul. So I think it'll still be 2-2 for Millsop. Jairus Millsop. This one inside. That should run it full. I think it's full count here for Jairus Millsop. One down, runner at second. Here's the pitch from Schwarzbauer. Low. Bounces into the glove of his catcher for ball 4. Catcher did a good job, Ezra Barth, of getting that one off the bounce and not allowing it to go back for anything more. So runners at first and second now for the Rangers, and up to the plate is going to be Creed Gressman. Reached on a single and would later only reach second. Schwarzbauer gets the pitch. In there on the lower part of the plate for strike 1. Here's the 0-1. That one swung on, and it will be fouled right off the third base line. So now for Creed Gressman, it'll be a 0-2 count. Runners at first and second, one down. Schwarzbauer looking to get a out here and make it a little bit easier play. Just off the plate for ball 1. Good looking pitch there from Schwarzbauer. Thought it was going to be enough, but just outside for ball 1. 1-2 count now. And that one is swung on, popped way up in the air by Gressman. And in foul territory. Was not able to be picked up by Barth. Schwarzbauer there as well, but that one will pop out of the glove, and now it will again be a 1-2 for Creed Gressman. That one's going to be low. It'll be ball 2. So 2-2 now for Creed Gressman. It's pitcher versus pitcher here in this at-bat. Schwarzbauer versus Gressman. Here's the 2-2. That one's again swung on. That one right behind the plate. And Barth not going to get there in time. You know, for Schwarzbauer, he's getting Gressman to swing on these ones higher in the zone, and he's popped the last 2 up. Maybe he can't throw and get a heater by him high in the zone. Or take something off this next one and get him looking. Because he's been swinging at those ones high in the zone, and now with a 2-2 count, he might be, I don't know if he'd be as aggressive to see one high up in the zone like that and swing. Maybe he would, but with 2 runners at first and second, I feel like maybe he's less aggressive. It'd be different maybe second and third, but I think here if it's up in the zone, he might take. So just gonna throw the heater by him for strike 3. He gets another one down. Looking does Asa Schwarzbauer. This will be out number 2. Wow. 4 strikeouts looking today for Asa Schwarzbauer. Now to the plate will be Jason Schaefer for the Rangers. He struck out, but was able to get on base because the ball ran away. Here's the pitch, first pitch, and the throw down to third. Not in time. So runners from first and second will steal second and third. So runners now in scoring position with 2 down. Schwarzbauer, pitch, in there for strike 1 to Schaefer. 1-1 now to Jason Schaefer. Here's the pitch from Schwarzbauer. Took a little something off that one. It swung on, and that will just get through the infield just by the shortstop. The throw home will not be in time. That will allow the runner to go to second. Got to have that cutoff man there somewhere around the mound. Well, unfortunately, that is going to wind up being a 2-run single for Schaefer, and then he takes second because of the throw over the cutoff man. So another 2-run score. That'll make it 4-0 for Crosby-Ironton. And at the plate now is Wyatt Stanton. Stanton, he struck out looking for out 3. And this ball in and out of the glove of Barth, but it's going to be ball 1 anyways. So runner at second now, 2 down, and 2 runs have scored here in this inning for the Rangers. Schwarzbauer just trying to get out of here. That one's in there for strike 1. 1-1. To Wyatt Stanton. And Schwarzbauer has looked good here. He's allowed a few hits. That one is popped up. Coming towards here. And it's going to hit the dugout. You could probably, maybe you heard it, maybe you didn't. This mic does a good job of dampening outside noise, but that one is out of play. So a 1-2 count now for Wyatt Stanton, trying to get out number 3 and get out of the third inning. Are the Dragons' defense. Schwarzbauer with the 1-2. Low, and that'll be ball 2. The runner will take third. That pitch didn't allow Barth to get that one cleanly up right away, so he just calmly gathered the ball instead of trying to let that one slip through. 2-2 on the way. In there, strike 3, and again, another strikeout, another one down looking. Wyatt Stanton, for the second time here this afternoon, will go down looking, but damage done there by Crosby-Ironton. 2 runs will score to make it 4-0, and 2 runs on 1 hit. No errors, and a runner left on. So we will move to the bottom of the third inning. It'll be the Dragons' turn at the plate. And again, if you're Pine City right now, I think the message might be, hey, let's force Gressman to throw a few more pitches here. Let's not go out there and 1 pitch out this time around. We got to make him throw a few more pitches. You saw what happened when excuse me, when Nick Stewart went up there and forced Gressman to throw a few more pitches. He started to get out of his element a little bit, but when when it's 1 pitch, 1 out, 1 pitch, 1 out, and then 2 pitches, 2 out, it's unfortunately going to be easy for this pitcher to stay in his zone because he's going to be fearless up there because you're swinging and getting an out. So I think for the Dragons here, got to work the count a little bit more in this third inning. That's what I would do if I were the Dragons at least. I'm no expert, though. Don't get me wrong. I am no expert at baseball. I like baseball. I enjoy baseball. I love all sports, if I'm being honest. But expert? No. It's kind of that jack of all trades thing. Know them all, expert at none. Well, I'd say football, but we won't get into that. No. Jackson Karras will lead it off for the Pine City Dragons here in the bottom of the third inning. Here's the pitch from Gressman. And that one is swung on, and that's going to be a base hit. The first hit of the Dragons here today. And Karras is on with a single. That was a good-looking hit for Carrison. They'll get a pinch runner over there at first. That pinch runner is going to be Caden Oquist. So Oquist, the courtesy runner at first. And now at the plate is Michael Petronak, So runner at first for the Dragons. Again, first pitch swinging, but that one was well contacted. Again, hard to stand up there and watch pitches when it's this chilly because the longer you stand at the plate in the batter's box, the more chilly you get. Petronak, that first pitch, low for ball one. So 1-0 count to Petronak. Nice to see the Dragons not swing first pitch. To be fair, that one was pretty easily laid off, so. Here's the 1-0. It's going to turn into a 2-0 count now as that one's outside. So 2-0 count here for Petronak at the plate. The pitch. Swung on and hit off himself, it looked like. Looked like that got off his knee or his shin. That doesn't feel good, but he's handling it like a champ. So that'll push the count to a 2-1. Gressman with the delivery. That's high. And the runner from first is going to try and steal second, but he was not close. And he is thrown out trying to steal. Yeah, he did not get a good jump, unfortunately. And that'll be out number one. Yeah, he left almost when that ball got into the glove of the catcher. Unfortunately, just didn't get the jump he would have liked to have. Still a, 2-1, 3-1 now for Petronak? 3-1, and that's outside for ball four. So they'll put a runner back on first. And now to the plate is the pitcher, Asa Schwartzbauer. One down, runner at first for Pine City. In the bottom of the third, they trail 4-0. Throw over to first, not in time, but he does make Petronak get dirty. Makes him dive back to first, but again, he is back safely. Swinging and a miss there for Schwarzbauer. One count. That one's inside for ball one. 1-1 count now to Schwarzbauer, the pitcher. Again, pitcher versus pitcher duel here. Gressman versus Schwarzbauer. Last time these two teams faced was at the top of this inning, and Gressman was struck out looking. Now Schwarzbauer hoping to make that a little bit different for himself. This one's in there, strike two. 1-2 now to Asa Schwarzbauer. That one's low for ball two. Runner's going to be into second safely this time on the steal. So this one is going to be good. So a steal there for Petronak. We'll put the runner at second. Here's the pitch to Schwarzbauer. High. That'll be 3-2, I believe. I'll run the count full. Here's the full count pitch. This one's high for ball four. Good patient at bat there for Schwarzbauer. That is exactly what the Dragons needed. And I mean exactly what they needed, because now you got runners at first and second with only one down. And back to the top of the order with Ethan Agard. So it's a good third inning for Pine City. You're making Gressman throw now, and now you're capitalizing as he's not been able to find the strike zone as well as he was at one point. This one's going to be high, well high for Agard for ball one. Again, all of a sudden now, you're going to get a mound visit for Gressman. And, yeah, Pine City's getting into him a little bit. Now that he's thrown a few more pitches. Again, first inning, he threw 4 balls. Last inning, he had a battle with Nick Stewart. I think he threw 4 or 5 pitches there. Then it was two pitches, 2 outs on the next 2 batters. But here, he's thrown over 10 pitches already here in this inning. So this is a really good thing for Pine City, a good sign because they're getting into his head a little bit. He's forcing some things now. He's not as comfortable as he once was. He's not in that zone he once was. And now he's not been able to find the strike zone as consistently as he was in the first 2 innings. So now you're working something a little bit here. And can Agard catch him napping and leave one over the heart of the plate? We'll have to wait and see. First pitch to Agard is swung on. It's going to, oh my goodness, take a nosedive right in front of the plate. It's going to take the first baseman off the bag. He does put his glove on the bag for the tag, but it is going to advance the runners. So 2 down, runners at second and third now for Bo Heggie. Runners in scoring position with 2 down for Bo Heggie. Dragons with their first chance of the afternoon to try and score. This one low for ball one. Good eye there by Bo Heggie. Again, need to be patient here in these at-bats if you're Pine City. Been too anxious at the plate through the first 2 innings, but good job here in this third. That one's low in the dirt. Nice grab, though, by the catcher for Crosby-Ironton. That's a good stop because if that one gets by, you're scoring 1 for Pine City, that's for sure. 2 is probably not going to happen, but 1 for sure. Outside, ball 3. Bo Heggie, 3-0 with 2 down. 3-0 with 2 down. Bo Heggie at the plate. That one's in there for strike 1. He was not given the green light to go and swing on that one, even though that's on the heart of the plate. Now you might be thinking, why don't you swing there? Well, it's strategy. Yes, he had to throw that one over the heart of the plate, but this one might be even better. And maybe not so much better, but it does allow him to hit it. And this one's popped up, and the second baseman does get under it. Not the cleanest of grabs, I might add, but he does nab it. And for out number 3. So a much better inning at the plate for Pine City. They didn't score a run, but I think if you're Pine City, you'll take it because now all of a sudden you're into the head of Gressman a little bit, and he's got to think twice about where he's throwing these pitches when he's out there. But we're going to take a commercial break, and when we return, we'll be ready for the start of the 4th inning of play here in Pine City.
The mushroom melt is back at A&W. How does this sound? Sautéed seasoned mushrooms and onions with melted Swiss cheese on your choice of a juicy burger or grilled chicken. Then add golden french fries and a medium soft drink. It's the mushroom melt and fries combo at A&W. Now, top it off with a classic A&W root beer float featuring vanilla soft serve and made fresh root beer, all in a frosty mug. Or how about the A&W root beer freeze? Signature combos and delicious treats always at your local A&W restaurant in Pine City.
At Burnett Dairy Cooperative, we're more than just your local dairy. We're also a trusted propane provider, serving homes, farms, and businesses across northwestern Wisconsin and east central Minnesota. Whether you need a tank installed or reliable delivery, we're here for you 365 days a year with flexible options that fit your needs. As a farmer-owned cooperative, we're committed to supporting our community because your home and farm deserve the best. Call 715-689-1032 to learn more. Burnett Dairy Propane, serving you with pride every day of the year.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Contact your local Auto Owners agency, Pine Insurance Agency at pineagency.us today.
Got an update for you from Rush City. The Tigers softball team right now down 2-1 to the Aiken Gobblers. That was a good game last year. Good game again this year. So hopefully that the Tigers can turn things around here for the baseball team. They are playing Aiken right now, and looks like it is top of the first. Well, it can't be top of the first, but it is 0-0 according to Game Changer. Meanwhile, leading off for the Rangers is 17, Andrew Taylor. That one's going to be low in the dirt for ball. Is it 2? I think it's 2-0 to him. I think I missed the first pitch trying to get you some updates. Don't mean to pat myself. Don't mean to pat myself on the back there, but. Ooh, this one is foul tipped into the umpire's mask. He is good, though. Yeah, we think, just trying to make sure the umpire's okay. He's okay, though. He's tough. He's a tough guy. So 2-1, I do believe now to 0-2. Oh, wow. 0-2. 0-2 to Taylor. Or 1-2. My hearing's terrible. This one's in there, swung on, popped out towards the Rangers bench, and it is a foul. So we get a new ball in there for Shoresbauer and Barth. Oh, 2 count here for Andrew Taylor. Low for ball 1. Good pitch there by Shoresbauer, getting some heat to Taylor, but he did not take on that one. This one. Ooh, inside for ball 2. Good looking pitch again from Shoresbauer, but just inside ball 2. 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. That was low. That will run the count full. Taylor, a patient at bat for him to lead off the top of the 4th inning. Middle 4th over there in Rush City, so they'll be at bat next. In there, strike 3, and it's another one looking for Asa Shoresbauer. Oh, my goodness. Let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strikeouts looking today for Asa Shoresbauer. What a game for him. Deacon French now at the plate with 1 down and nobody on. First pitch is in there, strike 1. Shoresbauer in that first inning, middle of the first, kind of got into a little bit of a zone. Then he allowed a few hits, but in that second inning, you could really tell he got into that zone. Third, yeah, he did allow a few more hits, but you could tell he was still fearless up there on the mound, and that is what's led him to another good start here in the 4th, as that one is strike 2. 0-2 now to Deacon French. Swing and a miss high in the zone for out 2. So 2 down, 2 up, 2 down, excuse me. And coming to the plate is the leadoff man, the top of the order, Jack Kavatovich. I'll get my vernacular down here for baseball. Just shaking the rust off, shaking the rust off. Then when I go to Florida, it'll be warm and, oh man, it'll be beautiful. 1-0 to Kavatovich. This one swung on and lifted out towards left field. Did he get it? He did! Oh, my goodness. A sliding catch out there and left for out number 3. What a play by Caleb Hogberg again. He has made 2 nice catches out there and left, and this one to end the inning. Nice job for Hogberg. Beautiful catch on the run and sliding in to make that stop for out number 3. And now the Dragons gaining some momentum here. And all of a sudden, can the bats get going? We will have a change at the pitcher spot. It looks like it's going to be Ethan Millsop coming in to pitch. So that does it for Creed Gressman's day. He goes 3 innings, and that is it. 3 innings, 0 runs. He did get 1-2 strikeouts. And walked 2. So again, it will be Ethan Millsop into pitch. Millsop, the lefty, going to be coming into pitch here for the Crosby-Ironton Rangers. This will be interesting to see if this changes it all for the Dragons. But again, I still think if you're the Dragons, you come up here, you be patient at these first 2 at-bats, see what Millsop's got. You're obviously watching him here in the warm-ups. He's been high so far in these first few pitches, but you know, if you're the Dragons, be patient on these at-bats. You know, you got to see what he's bringing. You got to get him out of his element a little bit. We've seen what it did for Gressman, and Gressman, unfortunately, just couldn't find the strike zone. And try and do that for Millsop now. Millsop on these first few warm-up pitches has been a little bit high, but sometimes that changes as soon as you get to live action. Over there in Rush City, Blotz is at the plate now. She's 0 for 1 on the day, and she was out 2 swinging. So 2 down now in the bottom of the 4th for Rush City. Or was she? No, I think it was somebody else who was down swinging because she has strike 1 now. Pretty cool that is, they got that on Game Changer. That's cool. That will be a game changer going forward. I'm sorry, that's terrible. Gotta have a little fun, though, in between innings. Or in between going top to bottom. Gotta have fun. There's a lot of downtime in baseball and softball. 0-2 now to Blotz over there in Rush. They trailed 2-1 to Aiken in their first game of the season, so trying to get a win. They were 1 game away from state last year, fell to Proctor in a close one. I think it was a 2-0 game in Rush, and then they played them in the championship game, and it was another close one, so not surprised that Aiken is a close game. I think they played them close as well last year, so another good one to begin the season. So Ethan Millsop, the new pitcher for the Rangers, he's the lefty, and leading off for the Pine City Dragons in the bottom of the 4th is Jacob Staber. Again, made a few nice catches out there and left. This last one, the sliding dive to get them out of the inning. So Millsop already. Here is the first pitch. This is high for ball 1. Now you can hear the Pine City dugout getting into it a little bit more. Here's the 1-0. It's high again for ball 2. 2-0 now for Staber. Millsop with the 2-0. Outside, ball 3. Staber out there with a 3-0 count. And I'm guessing they'd tell him no swing. We'll see. We'll see. With nobody on, as he's the leadoff, we'll see if they let him be aggressive 3-0. I wouldn't guess so, but yeah, no, they won't, as it is outside. Won't even need to. Outside, ball 4. 4-pitch walk there for Jacob Staber, and now coming to the plate is Nick Stewart. Again, patient in his first at-bat. He went down looking on a pitch that was right on the edge of strike ball, called strike, though. So now runner on first here for Pine City. Nobody out, and again, it's Nick Stewart at the plate. First pitch is outside, ball 1. And Nick Stewart, a very patient batter. He will make you throw more than you really want to. And we're going to get another mound visit. So the Rangers here, pitching-wise, have struggled here in the last inning and a half. And it continues into this one with Ethan Millsop. Again, it's just sometimes it happens. They'll try and get him back into his zone. But for Pine City, if you're Pine City right now, you got to capitalize on this. This is where you got to pounce on the Rangers. They lead 4-0 in the bottom of the 4th. And if you're going to get back into this one, this is the time to do it now. With the pitching struggling as of late, this is where you want to pounce on them and try and get some runs. Maybe even steal some runs, if you will. One-0 for Stewart. Millsop with the pitch. No, he'll throw it back, and he had him leaning. This ball is going to get away from the first baseman, and he's not going to get the throw down to second. So a wild throw is going to allow Staber to reach second. And it wasn't too wild. It just kind of clipped the end of the glove of the first baseman, and and traveled a ways out onto the foul territory. So still 1-0 for Nick Stewart, but now a runner at second. So nobody out runner in scoring position. This is big for Pine City, and again, this is where you got to capitalize. That's high for ball 2 to Stewart. Millsap. That was a blazing fastball, but high. Here's 2-0. That's in there for strike one. And Nick Stewart usually does that. He usually sees that first strike, says, all right, I know what I'm looking at now, and then he sees that again, he's usually on it. So 2-1 now to him. Millsap with the pitch. That's outside for ball 4. Oh, I was 1 ball behind. I apologize. But it is a walk no less for Nick Stewart, and runners now at first and second. Nobody out. And now Caleb Hogberg will come to the plate. We'll get a courtesy runner here for Stewart at first. Coming in as the courtesy runner is number 10, Tanner Vandervelden. He'll be the courtesy runner there at first. And again, now at the plate is Caleb Hogberg. Made a few good catches out there, as I mentioned, in left. Staber made a nice grab at shortstop. Well, let's see if the Dragons can't capitalize here. Millsap with the pitch. Low for ball 1 to Caleb Hogberg. (1-0) on the way to Hogberg. Ooh, in there on the outside part of the plate for strike one. 1-1 now for Hogberg. And again, if you're Pine City, you still got to be patient at the plate. Again, Millsap is not really where he wants to be right now, so Pine City still needs to be patient. Don't jump at anything. That's just a good pitch from Millsap. Got Hogberg swinging, and now it's 1-2. Millsap ready. Here's the pitch. Oh, and just behind him, Hogberg swings and misses just behind on that pitch, and that's going to be a strikeout for out number 1. That's really tough because that's just some good pitching from Millsap. So 1 down now for Pine City, and it's Ezra Barth at the plate. Swings and misses at the first pitch for strike 1. But if you're Pine City, you're still looking at this in a good spot. Only 1 down, runners at first and second. Here's the 0-1. Ooh, out there on the outside part of the plate for strike 2. Barth was looking, and I thought that was outside as well, but it is going to be strike 2. 0-2 now to Barth. He's got to protect the plate. And here's the pitch. Got a piece of that one. I thought it maybe got him, but it didn't. Throw on down to first. Is in time, but he'll advance the runners to second and third. So another one that kind of bounces and it goes right out in front of the batter. Looked like it might have hit him, but it didn't, and that'll be out number 2. But again, the runners advance to second and third now, 2 down, and that will bring to the plate Jackson Karras, who last time had a single, and he was eventually thrown out trying to steal, but they could use a single here from Jackson Karras as he swings, and that one's fouled out of play off really over the Crosby-Ironton bench. And now 0-1 to Karras. Low for ball 1. Nice job there by Jackson Karras to watch that one go by for ball 1. Again, they need a big hit here from him, get some runs on the board, and man, I think that would do wonders for these next 3 innings. Oh, that one's in there for strike 2, Karras. He wanted to. He lifted that bat off the shoulder, but just didn't get that swing, and he thought that one was outside, but Millsap's doing a good job painting that outside corner. 2-1 now, or 1-2 rather, and here's the pitch. He had to swing, and that one's off of him. Oh, that sounded like it hit him. Oh, they did. They're going to say it did not. Oh, man, I've never heard. Man, that looked and sounded like it hit him. Well, I guess it didn't. And that'll be out number 3. Interesting. Well, it looked and sounded much like it hit him, but it did not. And he is out number 3. So we'll move to the top of the 5th inning, and we'll take commercial break. And when we come back, we'll have that top of the 5th ready for you here in Pine City.
Dale's Heating and Appliance, your local heating and appliance expert, is committed to making your family's comfort their top priority. And now you can add water softeners to their list of expertise. Dale's now offers water softener sales or rentals along with installation, service, and salt delivery. So if your home needs quality water, make the call to your already trusted experts at Dale's, or just visit dalesheatingandappliance.com. dalesheatingandappliance.com.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer. That signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Back here on WCMP 106.5 FM, AM 1350, Anthem Country, and of course live with video at WCMPradio.com. Ethan Game Day Gilman out here in Pine City for our first spring broadcast of the year. Pine City currently trails 4-0 at the top of the 5th inning. Asa Schwartzbauer still out there on the mound. He has been in a zone as of late. Can he continue? And can he help his team get out of another inning and get them back to the plate? They've done a pretty good job of being patient at the plate here the last couple innings, but just have not been able to get the runs. Ethan Millsop will now be at the plate. First pitch to him is in there. Strike 1. Shakes his head like, hey, yeah, good pitch. Now, that one's well inside, and that will go back to the backstop for ball 1. 1-1 now to Millsop, but now, a little bit of a trend here. Not that it means anything, but the Rangers have scored in odd innings, first and third. This is inning 5. This one is inside to Millsop for ball 2. So 2-1 now for Ethan Millsop from Asa Schwarzbauer. Schwarzbauer, again, though, has been really good here this afternoon. This one's going to be low, ball 3, and Schwarzbauer, not trying to give Millsop anything that he can lift or square up, but this one's going to, that one's going to be outside for ball 4. So ball 4 and a 5-pitch walk. So a runner at first now for Crosby, and that will bring Keon Wessner to the plate. Wessner is 0 for 1 today. He was hit by a pitch in the 3rd. And the steal for Millsop is good. He is down there under the tag. That was a good throw down there by Mr. Ezra Barth. Now they'll have a runner at second. 0-2 count now for Wessner. And that, swung on and missed, and so hard of a swing that Wessner lost the bat out of his hands. First time I've seen that. Well, 1 out, and that will bring up Jairus Millsop to the plate. Brother, I'm assuming, at second. That one is swung on and hit out towards right field. That's going to stay in fair. It just gets down, and that will score a runner. It will be an RBI single for Jairus Millsop. That's not the first RBI of today for him. So the trend continues for Crosby of scoring in odd innings. Creed Gressman will be at the plate for Crosby. One down and runner at, or nobody on. Yes, runner at first. What am I thinking? I think they're going to get a runner here for Jairus. They will. Runner is going to be 14. Is that right? 14? We'll try and find out who 14 is. Shouldn't be too difficult. 14 is Liam Markley. So Liam Markley out there as the pinch runner. Courtesy runner, if you will. Swing and a miss by Creed Gressman. So 0-1 now for Gressman. He'll check the runner at first. Oh, nice play there. Shoresbauer with a nice throw and Stewart with a nice tag applied. But they say he is back just in time. That was a great move by Shoresbauer. Here's the next pitch to Gressman. I'm going to say inside for ball one. 1-1 count now for Creed Gressman. Here's the 1-1. That stays up in the zone, well up in the zone, above the zone. So high that it's ball two. So 2-1 count now for Creed Gressman. That one is swung on, popped up in the infield. Shoresbauer on it, but instead his second baseman is going to get to it and grab it and hold on for out number 2. So Gressman will pop out in the infield, and now that will bring to the plate Jason Schaefer. Schaefer to the plate. He is 1 for 2 today. The single back in the third. Shoresbauer readies. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Good looking pitch there from Shoresbauer. Man, he had Schaefer guessing the whole way. Swing and a miss on that one. Quick pitch. That's 0-2 now. Again, Shoresbauer, he gets into that zone, and good luck. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss, and he'll strike him out for out number 3. Nice job there by Shoresbauer to come back after allowing a run and then getting the next 2 out and ending the top of the 5th. So it will be time to head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Bottom of the 5th here in Pine City. The Dragons trail 5-0 on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Still time here. They will, again, they'll have 3 innings. They'll have the bottom of this inning, bottom of the 6th, and bottom of the 7th if they don't score 6. Otherwise, if they are down still in the 7th, they will have the bottom of the 7th to try and get things going. They kind of got things going last inning. Kind of did. They got 2 runners on, but that was it. It's kind of similar to the inning previous in the 4th. Or the 3rd, excuse me. So let's see what the Dragons can't get going here in the bottom of the 5th inning as they trail the Crosby-Ironton Rangers in this Great River Conference matchup 5-0. Keeping an eye over there in Rush City, the Tigers still down. Kendall Pillar, I don't know how accurate it is, but according to Game Changer, it says she has over 100 pitches today, 105, according to Game Changer. Her team still trails 2-1 in the top of the 6th, so the Rush City Tigers are going to have some work to do in the bottom of the 6th and maybe the 7th if they don't get things going in the 6th. It will be Ethan Millsop still out there. On the mound. Leading off for Pine City here in the bottom of the fifth is going to be Michael Petronek. Swinging and a miss on the first one. He walked in his first at-bat there in the third. Swing and a miss on that one for strike two. 0-2 now for Petronek. So 0-2 now. And Millsop readies. Here's the pitch. High for ball one. So 1-2. Millsop wastes one there. And Millsop readying again. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss by Petronek, and that is out number one. Asa Schwarzbauer will head to the plate. In his last at-bat, he walked and reached first. One down for Pine City. Swing and a miss on that one. Got him tied up a little on that one. It is 8-9-1 due up for Pine City. Schwarzbauer currently at the plate. Then Ethan Agard would be the next batter. Here's the 0-1. Schwarzbauer watches that one bounce to the plate. So now it's 1-1 for Schwarzbauer. 1-1 pitch on the way. Low for ball two. 2-1 now to Schwarzbauer. Schwarzbauer had a patient at bat his last time up there as well, and I think this will prove key if he can have another one. 2-1 on the way from Millsop. Low for ball three. 3-1 now to Asa Schwarzbauer from Ethan Millsop. Again, another patient at bat for him. Here's the 3-1 from Millsop. In there, strike two. That'll run the count full. Asa Schwarzbauer. Here's the pitch from Millsop. Got a piece of that one. It's going to roll right past the pitcher to the shortstop. Throw on to first is in time for out number two. Good hit, but not enough to get through the infield as the shortstop gets to it in time and makes the throw for out number two. Ethan Agard now to the plate, 2 down and nobody on. Here in the bottom of the fifth. Dragons trying to get something going so they can get on the board here in this one. First pitch to Staber is ball one from Ethan Millsop. 1-0, low for ball 1, 2. 2-0, in there, strike one. Two one now for Staber, or Agard, excuse me, Agard. 3-1 now for Ethan Agard. So another good plate appearance here for Agard. Can he pay it off? 3-1 on the way from Millsop. Outside, ball 4. So a nice job there by Ethan Agard, being patient, and it won't be a 1-2-3. Now it will bring to the plate Bo Hagee. Bo Hagee to the plate, runner at first, 2 down. Let's get a 2-out rally going, huh? First pitch to Hagee is high for ball 1. One-0 from Millsop on the way. Low for ball 2. here we go again. We see another time where we've seen this back in the, the third with Gressman, where Pine City all of a sudden started to be patient at the plate. They started to get the pitcher to throw a few more, and he really couldn't find the plate, but kind of happening again here in this one, as this is strike one to Heggie. So 2-1 now for Bo Heggie, but still, Millsap not in that zone he once was. Here's the 2-1, swung on and missed that one. A little bit low, maybe could have laid off that one, but it'll even up the count. 2-2 now for Bo Heggie. 2 down, runner at first. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Millsap. Swung through and missed by Heggie, and that'll be out number 3. Well, they didn't go 1, 2, 3, but it will be out number 3. So we move on. And the next thing coming up is we're closing in on the end of this game. 6th inning of play headed your way. Once we return from a word from our fine sponsors. I couldn't find something to rhyme there.
Aurelius Manufacturing has been providing innovative solutions to customers since 1926. Specializing in the production of custom welded hydraulic cylinders for over 40 years, our focus is on providing value to customers through innovative problem solving, quality workmanship, and customer service. Our team works with your team to develop designs that provide the most value for your application. We leverage technology and craftsmanship, turning designs into finished products quickly and accurately.
Hey there, neighbors. Matt Winsan, CEO Burnett Dairy. Farmers are the people that wake up before the sun, who battle the elements, and tend to their crops and herds with a passion that runs deep in their veins. At this time, I would personally like to thank the farmers. From all of us at Burnett Dairy Cooperative to all of our incredible farmers, thank you. Burnett Dairy Cooperative. Real farms, real flavor.
Resetting your password, unsubscribing from emails, printing anything. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with an auto owner's insurance independent agent, getting the right coverage for your business doesn't have to be one of them, so you can get back to more important things, like learning how that printer works. That's simple human sense.
Contact your local auto owner's agency, Pine Insurance Agency, at pineagency.us today.
And we're back, ready for the 6th inning of play. Here in Pine City, the Dragons trail the Crosby-Ironton Rangers 5-0 after the Rangers scored 1 there in the 5th. If you're just joining us, the Rangers got out to a 2-0 start. They added 2 more in the 3rd and 1 here in the 5th. Dragons got off to a little bit of a quick start in terms of swinging at too many early pitches. It was a 4-pitch first inning for Gressman. Second inning, a little bit better, still too many first pitch swinging. This one is swung, tipped right into the catcher's glove. So at the plate now is number 24. He's batting for Wyatt Stanton. This one's in there, strike. So this 0-2 now for him, and we'll get his name here for you. Cohen Ellis. And the 0-2 to him. High for ball 1. Kind of wasted one there, did Asa. Oh, maybe he'll come back with one here. Here's the 1-2. Ooh. Ball 2. Man, that's a tough one. I thought that was going to be strike 3 again, but no, 2-2 now for Schwarzbauer, and he's trying to get him out. Trying to get him looking low, but Ellis lays off, and that will be running the count full here. Full count, swung on, missed. And that is going to be a strikeout. Another strikeout on the afternoon for Asa Schwarzbauer. I'm impressed with him here today. Now to the plate is going to be Andrew Taylor. 0 for 2 himself today. Popped out in the 2nd and then struck out looking in the 4th. This one is low outside, ball 1. It gets by the catcher there, Ezra Barth. But no harm, no foul, as there was nobody on. This one swung on, and a dribbler to short, throw on to first, is not going to get there. In fact, it gets by Stewart, and this is going to allow Taylor into second. A dive, not so necessary, but he gets there. That'll be, I think, an E6. So an error there will allow the runner to third, or to second, rather. My goodness, I cannot find the words today. I apologize. Error will allow him to get to second. And we'll have a new batter in for Deacon French. So in for Deacon French is number 13, and 13 is Chase Horner. So we will get a pitching change here for Pine City. Ace's day is over. He goes 5 1/3 innings. 5 runs allowed. But he did have quite a few strikeouts here today. As we count them up. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of them. And he did have, let's see, I know he had a couple walks here today. 1, 2, 3. Only 3 walks on the day. So 5 1/3 innings there for Asa Schwarzbauer. But now coming in to pitch is going to be Nick Stewart. So Nick Stewart will come in to be the next pitcher for Pine City. As we take a look over in Rush City, it looks like that game may have ended. Nope, we're in the bottom of the 5th. 1 down already, and man, Rush City down to their final 2 outs. So their first game of the year, trying to get their first win. They need to tie it at least. But again, it'll be Nick Stewart coming in to pitch, and Schwarzbauer will move to second. He'll move to second here in the 6th. Get everything situated. Jacob Staber moves from short to first. And at short now is Ethan Agard. So those are the moves that they made. As Nick Stewart gets his warm-up pitches in there, and we'll be ready to continue the top of the 6th inning. Ooh, Rush City just got on the board. 2-1. How did they do that? Let's see. Looks like they do have live video. Oh, cool. So Stewart is ready. Top of the 6th, 1 down, runner at second for Crosby-Ironton. Gotta listen to an ad, of course I do, to try and watch the live video. Apologize, I didn't realize that. So I'll have to talk over it. You'll hear that in the background, but trying to get an update for you. This one is swung on, missed. The ball is going to get by the catcher, and that will allow the runner from second into third. So we will now have a runner at third. Tigers down to their last out, by the way. Meanwhile, Chase Horner is at the plate. 0-1 count for him. This one bounces to him. So 1-1 count now for Horner in there. He's batting for Deacon French. And in Rush City, they are down 2-1, 0-2 count for, looks like, Peyton Addicks. This one from Nick Stewart's in there for strike 2 to Chase Horner. And it's going to be a 1-2 count as Stewart tries to grab out number 2. Stewart with the 1-2. Low, and that'll be ball 2. So that'll even up the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes here in the top of the 6th. Runner at third. 1 down. Stewart nods. Here's the pitch. This one swung on and hit right in front of the catcher. Throw it in time, and that runner at third will hold. So that'll be out number 2. The runner at third stays, and now back to the top of the order for Jack Kovacevic. Pine City trailing 5-0 with 2 down. Meanwhile, Rush City staying alive out there. They get a hit. This one bounces, and that is going to score this runner from third, unfortunately. Ooh, ouch. Tough slide there from Andrew Taylor. Did not get the cleanest of slides. So this wild pitch will allow him to score. So another one scores here for the Rangers, and it's 6-0. Kovacevic with the 1-0 swing and a miss on that one. Evens up the count 1-1. 1-1 now for Kovacevic. Stewart with the pitch. That's low for ball 2. Shakes off the first, and he likes this one, does Stewart. Here's the pitch. In there! Strike 2 to even it up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Meanwhile, Rush has, again, stayed alive there. Runners at the corners, 2 down. Here we go. Stewart readying with the next pitch to Kovacevic. Swung on and hit right at the third baseman. Gloved nicely. Throw on to first. In time for out number 3. Well, they unfortunately do give up a run, but only one. So they need to get something going here at the plate themselves. And so we reach the bottom of the 6th. Looks like we'll get another new pitcher here for the Rangers. Looks like they'll go. So they allowed Millsop 2 innings. Obviously no runs. Gave up 1, 2, 3 walks. And then struck out 1, 2, and 3. So now coming to the mound to pitch for them is going to be number 12, Keon Wessner. So Wessner will now pitch for the Rangers as we get ready for the bottom of the 6th inning. Dragons trail by 6 to the Rangers of Crosby-Ironton. Again, this, if you didn't hear, this is a Great River Conference matchup. Now, you may have heard that throughout the winter sports season because we talked about it. We did talk about it a few times. Not so much at length, but we did talk about it a few times. It was brought up quite often, but them, along with Mora and Aiken, are the 3 new teams in this conference this year. Part of the Great River, so pretty cool that they were able to expand the Great River Conference. And again, Crosby and Mora and Aiken have joined it. But again, as I mentioned before, Mora was already kind of part of the conference just because they pretty much played everybody in the Great River, and anytime they played, it was like they're in the conference anyways. It was that important to every team that played Mora. So they were kind of already part of that decision. I think that had maybe was in discussion for a while because, man, they really wanted Mora part of this conference, I think, for a while. Leading us off here in the bottom of the sixth for the Dragons is Jacob Staber. And Wessner is the new pitcher for Crosby-Ironton. This one is fired in there, but low for ball one. He's got a pretty fast pitch there, but that is low for ball one. That one's low as well for ball two. So 2-0 to Staber. Dragons have this and the bottom of the seventh if needed to get those 7 runs to win. This one's in there for strike one to Staber. So Wessner, after being down 2-0, comes back with one there. Make it a 2-1 count. 2-1. This one swung on and hit out towards right field. It's going to get down for a base hit. That right fielder's chasing after it. And this one's going to get in, going to have a play at the second. No, we're not. Staber's going to get into second easily. And it's a leadoff double for the Dragons and Jacob Staber. That is exactly what the Dragons have been looking for here in this game. And finally, an extra base hit there. And now maybe it can just continue to trickle on down the lineup. As now we get to Nick Stewart. Nick Stewart, again, he's had both of his at-bats have been extremely patient. Last time, he was even able to get a walk out of it. This one inside for ball one to Nick Stewart. Keon Wessner, the new pitcher for Crosby-Ironton. Here's the 1-0 to Stewart. In there for strike one. One now to Nick Stewart. One on the way. There's a just outside for ball two. A 2-1 count for the now pitcher for Pine City, Nick Stewart. Swung on, and it will trickle down the third base line. Oh, and the third baseman overruns it, and Stewart is going to have first. Well, it's an error, but he's still on first nonetheless. Error there by the third baseman will allow Stewart to reach first. They will get that courtesy runner in there for him. This time it's going to be Axel Heggie. And now runners at the corners. Nobody out for Pine City. At the plate, Caleb Hogberg, but they're first going to get a mound visit here for Wessner. Again, runners at the corners, nobody out here in the bottom of the sixth for Pine City. They trail 6-0. Late comeback trail here. But hey, it starts with one, starts with getting them on. You've got two of them now. And nobody out. This is the best spot the Dragons have been in. Runner at third. Wessner, the pitcher for Crosby-Ironton. Hasn't struggled. He's got a really quick pitch, but the ball is moving quickly, but it has just been in the zone. And Pine City has gotten on top of them, so to speak. You don't want to necessarily be on top of the ball, but you know what I mean. Wessner with the pitch here too. Hogberg in there for strike one. Wessner readies. Here's the 0-1. Low for ball one. 1-1 count for Caleb Hogberg. Wessner with the 1-1 pitch to Hogberg. just outside for ball 2. 2-1 count for Hogberg. Heggie. Axel Heggie back in time as Wessner checks him over at first. Here's the 2-1. Hogberg got a piece of that one. It'll be foul tipped into the catcher. Evens it up 2-2 for Caleb Hogberg. Wessner readies. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Hogberg got a piece of that one. It's going to leave the infield. It'll be good enough for one. An RBI single for Caleb Hogberg. An RBI for Hogberg, and that will move the runner from first to second. So runners at first and second now for Pine City. And at the plate is Ezra Barth. The Dragons have gotten on the board. They trail now 6-1. First pitch to Barth is, outside part of the plate, but for strike 1. 0-1 pitch to Barth. This one's popped up behind the plate. Is that out of play? It looks like it is. It is. So that one will go and find its way out. 0-2 for Ezra Barth here. Nobody out. Runners at first and second. Wessner's pitch is in there at the bottom part of the plate for strike 3. We haven't seen that one all night. That is out number 1. Now up to the plate, Jackson Karras. Swing and a miss from Karras. That is going to be strike 1. Wessner, the 0-1 delivery. Ooh, man. Outside part of the plate for strike 2. Tanner Fix will. So Karras with an 0-2. Now trying to protect. Here's the pitch from Wessner. That's low for ball 1. Again, it will be on deck batter is Tanner Fix. 1-2 for Karras. Wessner with the pitch. Oh, again on that same spot. I'll get him looking for out number 2. Well, now that brings to plate Tanner Fix. He's trying to get something going for the Dragons as they try to get more runs on this board. Continue this late game run. Ooh, swing and a miss well behind that one for strike 1. Tanner Fix in the left-handed batter's box. Here's the 0-1 outside for ball 1. A 1-1 count now to Tanner Fix. One, swung on and missed by Fix, and it's a 1-2. 2 down, 2 on, 1-2 count for Tanner Fix here in the bottom of the 6th. Dragons have scored a run on that RBI single from Caleb Hogberg. That one's low. 2-2 now for Tanner Fix. And if the Dragons are unable to get 6 more runs here, they will have the bottom of the 7th to try and get the runs back to win. Here's the evened up 2-2 count, is swung on and fouled back out of play by Tanner Fix. So Wessner back onto the mound. Here we go. 2-2 pitch on the way. Fix gets a piece of it right back to the pitcher, and the throw on to first is in time easily for out number 3. Well, they got 6 batters to the plate, but could not get but 1 run on the board. And we now move to the top of the 7th inning. What could be the commercial break. Here we're from our fine sponsors.
Baseball and softball coaches. Are you looking for dry, warm practice time?
Here's the Pitch in North Branch can help. Here's the Pitch offers amazing indoor options for your team.
Offering state-of-the-art pitching machines and batting cages.
And space for you to give instruction without worrying about the weather outside.
Take your athletes to the next level.
Coach up your team during every season or off-season. Affordable practice space for your ball teams.
Make your reservation today.
Call Here's the Pitch today or visit them on Facebook.
Here's the Pitch in North Branch.
Brad here from Lee's Pro Shop in Pine City. We're a full-service lettering shop with a full line of athletic supplies for any sport. We have professional staff here at Lee's Pro Shop to customize your orders. We are the pros who specialize in athletic apparel and equipment. We even do trophies and awards as well as computerized engraving in the store. Let Lee's Pro Shop help you with any athletic apparel. Lee's Pro Shop, servicing our communities since 1973, where the passion for sports begins.
The truth is, you don't have to be an athlete to need physical therapy. Car accidents, work accidents, and simply aging can take its toll on our bodies. Physical therapy consultants in North Branch, Isani, Andover, Ham Lake, St. Francis, and Zimmerman can help you heal. Services like massage therapy, orthopedic care, and more. Physical therapy consultants can help. Call Physical Therapy Consultants at 1-888-THERAPY. All insurance plans accepted, including workers' comp and auto.
Embrace Orthodontics offers a unique specialized approach to orthodontic treatment with custom braces or Invisalign. The team at Embrace loves getting to know their patients personally and takes the time to make sure all your questions are answered. Their board-certified orthodontists use only the latest in modern technology to give you the best outcome possible. They work with your insurance company and offer flexible financing options to fit your budget. Call today to set up your free exam and see how Embrace Orthodontics can transform your smile. More online at embracemn.com. That's embracemn.com.
As you can see, it's Nick Stewart out there for the 7th inning. Ethan Millsop to lead off for the Rangers. It's a 1-1 count for him. The 1-1 on the way is outside for ball 2, so 2-1 now. This one swung on and fouled back out of play. So this will stay. This one is swung on and hammered out towards left center, left field. It's caught for out number 1. And that one came off the bat so quickly I couldn't see where it went. But it is out number 1. And Keon Wessner comes to the plate now. Stewart readies. Here's the first pitch to Wessner. Oh, Wessner. He got him on that one, but he did not swing. Got him to look, though, but did not swing. It'll be ball 1. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Wessner. He got a piece of that one, fouls it off towards the Crosby-Ironton dugout. 1-1 now for Wessner. Low for ball 2. Two one from Stewart. Swung on and right back towards Shoresbauer at second. Throw on to first is in time for out number 2. That went right by the left leg of Stewart, and Asa Shoresbauer was on it and threw it on to first in time. Didn't need to put too much zip on it, and he didn't and got it there in time. Jairus Millsop will head to the plate now with 2 down and nobody on here in the top of the 7th. As the Dragons try and make the comeback here in this one, they'll need 6 runs in the bottom of the 7th. They'll need 5 just to continue, but they need 6 to win it. First pitch to Jairus Millsop is up, out towards right center. The center fielder is on it and makes the grab for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down here in the top of the 7th. Go the Rangers, and it's the Dragons' last chance. So the Dragons have one last chance here to try and score at least 5. They need at least 5 here to move this on to extra innings, but they need to win. 5 to move us on to the 8th, 6 to get us out of here with the victory. We'll have to wait and see. No new pitcher here for the Rangers. It's going to be Wessner once again. They're ready to go right away, actually. So the Dragons get this one last shot here in the bottom of the 7th for the win. It's been a good game. The Dragons, of course, again, did give up a few more hits than they would have liked to have, and those turned into some runs. But I think for the most part, for game 1 of the season, especially with as chilly as it is, this would be, I think this might be a different story. It just might be. Just might be. But we're getting ready. I hear the ball's in call, which means that we're getting one last warm-up pitch. And so leading off for the Pine City Dragons, the bottom of the 7th, is Asa Shoresbauer. Let's see if he can't start it off with a bang, quite literally. Wessner with the windup and the pitch. This one swung on and popped up towards second. He's under it. It's a towering, oh my goodness. That one did not come down the way it went up. That came down at an angle and forced him back a little bit. He was able to stay under it, though, for out number 1. So Dragons are down to their final 2 outs of the evening. Now, Ethan Agard at the plate. Swung on this one. I don't know if that went off his foot or what, but they're calling it a foul ball, so it must have. So 0-1 to Agard. That's in there for strike 2. Strike 2 for Agard. And Wessner with the 0-2. I got a piece of that one. Bouncing to the third baseman. He gloves it. Throw on to first is in time for out number 2. Now to the plate. Well, it's not Bo Hagee. That's who's listed. Maybe Grant Sklazacek. I apologize. I numbers got a little mixed up here. Swinging strike there for number 6, who I believe would be Grant Sklazacek. And here we go. This could do it. Got a piece of it. Oh, almost a swinging bunt there for him. But the pitcher grabs it and throws it on first in time for out number 3. So that is going to do it. The Dragons fall here in this one to the Crosby-Ironton Rangers, 6-1. The Rangers get their first conference win of the season and move to 1-0 in both the overall and conference categories. Meanwhile, for the Dragons, it will be 0-1 in both the overall and conference categories to start the season. It was, again, pitching wasn't terrible here today. They've got some things that they've got to work with. They've got some things they get to work on as well. But there are some positives as they go forward here this season, and this won't be this probably, unfortunately, won't be the last loss, but it certainly won't be the only time we'll see them this season, that's for sure. And we will also see them win this year. I will bet that, because this team has a lot of talent here, and they've got a lot of things that they can learn from and grow on with this team going forward, and they're going to grow a lot here moving forward. So that is going to do it. The Dragons fall here in this one to the Crosby-Ironton Rangers, 6-1. Nick Stewart finishes off the last 1 2/3 innings, and he gave up 1 run. And he did get what? Let's see, 1 strikeout. Oh no, that's the wrong. I'm looking at looking at the wrong page there. He did get. He did not get a strikeout. No strikeouts for him. Let's see. He did not give up a walk either, so nice job there for him in those 1 1/3 innings. But for the Dragons, it is a 6-1 loss here against Crosby-Ironton Rangers, but they've got a lot that they can work with. They've got some things they got to work on going forward, but this is a talented team, and they'll be just fine going forward, and I can't wait to see them play again because, again, the improvements that they will make is going to be a lot of fun to watch going forward. But that is going to do it for me here at the ballpark for WCMP. I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate that. Give me a job to do, so I appreciate that. Also, I want to remind you that if you want to stay up to date with all things local sports, you can head to our morning shows on 95.5 FM with Rockin' Robin Riley at 7:30 and 8:30 for your local sports update, or over on 100.9 FM WCMP with Joshua Miron in the mornings at 7:45 and 8:45. Again, that's when you can catch your local sports update. We'll talk this game, all the other games that happened in our local listening area, plus some regional and national sports as well. Another way you can stay tuned is our websites at WCMPradio.com and KBK.com. For articles from games that we've been at, you can find the broadcast schedule on the sports tab. Click on broadcast schedule. We'll have games that we'll be covering for that week of play. That is subject to change. Also, we'll have interviews with coaches and players up there as well. And another way you can stay tuned is just quite simply following our social medias over on our Facebook pages for both stations, our Instagram for both stations, plus our Twitter at WCMP Radio for all things local sports. I want to remind you, if you're watching this one on our YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe to this YouTube page. That way, you'll be notified every single time we go live with a local sporting event. So be sure to like and subscribe. Hit that red subscribe button. That way, anytime we go live with a local sporting event, you do not miss it. Again, I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Thanks so much to all the fine sponsors who sponsored this and every other broadcast that we do. Again, if it weren't for them, we wouldn't be able to come out here and do any of these games. Again, the final on that Brace Orthodontic scoreboard, the Dragons fall to the Crosby-Ironton Rangers 6-1. Once again, for WCMP Anthem Country 106.5 FM AM 1350, I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. Thanks so much for tuning in, and have a great rest of your night. Sports tab, click on broadcast schedule. We'll have games that we'll be covering for that week of play. That is subject to change. Also, we'll have interviews with subscribe to this YouTube page. If it weren't for them, we wouldn't be able to come out here and do any of these games. Again, the final on that Brace Orthodontic scoreboard, the Dragons fall to the Crosby-Ironton Rangers 6-1. Once again, for WCMP Anthem Country 106.5 FM AM 1350, I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. Thanks so much for tuning in, and have a great rest of your night.